All right. Good morning, YouTube. Thank you for joining me for my very first video on YouTube. Um, I am a reseller. My name is Rick. I've been selling on Amazon and eBay for 5 years and 13 years, respectively. I started out selling part-time on eBay about 13 years ago. And around 5 years ago, I got married and decided that I wanted more time with my family and then I didn't want to work 60 to 70 hours for someone else making them rich. So I decided that I was going to jump into the reselling full time. And I didn't want to do Amazon at first. I really had no interest in doing that until a buddy of mine kind of helped get me into that. But so I've been selling full time for 5 years. So if you're out there and you have the question, can I do this? It depends. Most likely you can. I don't think it's for everyone, but I think there's definitely good possibility that most people could do it if you put enough into it and did your research and all that. So my very first video is going to be very raw. I've never edited or shot a video before, so it's just going to be what you see here. I'm not sure how the quality of the sound or the video is going to be, but I'm giving it a shot. I've been dragging my feet long enough on creating this video. So my first video is going to be on some things that I've sold over the past couple of days. I've got a couple of things for Amazon, FBM, and then some eBay stuff. For those of you who are not familiar with Amazon or the terminology, there's two different ways to sell on Amazon. You can sell FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon, where you just pack your stuff up and send it into Amazon and they store it, and when it sells on their website, they ship it out for you. And then you receive a disbursement every 2 weeks. Or you can sell it fulfilled by merchant, which is FBM. And that just means that you're selling on their website, but you're shipping it yourself. 95% of my stuff through Amazon is FBA. I send it in, let them take care of it. But I do have some items. You'll see right up here behind me, the Snoopy. That was an FBM item. Those are seasonal items that I don't want to sit in their warehouse for 12 months and have to pay their storage fees, because they do charge long-term storage fees after a certain amount of time, and even before that amount of time, they charge a monthly storage fee. So let's get into it. I'm going to start with the FBM items first. I'll tell you what it sold for, and if I can remember, how much I paid for it. Okay, so let's start with Snoopy here. This is a singing Snoopy playing a guitar. I paid, let's see, I paid $5 for him. I sold him for $16 plus I think $5 for shipping on Amazon. He's going to cost me about $6 or $7 to ship. After fees and all, I'll have about $12 back from Amazon. So I turned 5 into 12. This was a purchase that I was going to hold on to until next Christmas, because I usually do that and I do pretty well. I probably could have sold him for closer to $30 or $35 in November or December of this coming year. But recently I've been thinking about money and how I want to handle it. I would rather make the $7 profit on this now and then be able to flip that $7, who knows how many times between now and December, versus making the $20 to $25 on this and storing it all year. So I was gonna store it, but I decided to go ahead and list it FBM and see how it did. And I've sold probably 4 or 5 of these in the past 2 weeks. So that was a good buy. This also peanuts. If you're seeing a trend here, peanut stuff sells on Amazon. There are a lot of collectors, a lot of people who just love Charlie Brown. And this one is actually Linus. This is a little musical animated stuffed toy, and I actually purchased him along with Charlie Brown, a couple of Woodstocks, and Lucy. I think that's her name. But anyway, the girl on Snoopy. So this I paid $1.50 for, and I sold him for $9.99 plus $5 for shipping on Amazon. I'm gonna clear around $8 on that $1.50, which, let me say this, I try not to sell anything less than $20 per item. However, sometimes if you buy, I bought 8 of these. So if I can sell 8 of them off the same listing, whether it be on eBay or Amazon, then I feel that that's worth it. But I don't want to go out and buy one item for $2 just so I can sell it for 10. That's not really a great use of my time. But there are times when I buy something and plan on selling it for a little bit more, and it doesn't work out, so I end up dropping the prices down. And this was another item that I wanted to hold on to until Christmas, but decided that it would be better to just go ahead and sell it now and take that money and flip it and make more on that money. So another seasonal item that I got. This one was $2 as well. This is the Gecko PJ Masks Christmas ornament. You're thinking Christmas ornament at the end of January? I'm telling you, I sell Christmas ornaments year round. I prefer to sell them in November and December because the ROI is much better. However, again, I've been looking at compounding my money more times and not having to hold on to it for as long. So this guy I sold for $9.99 plus $5 for shipping. So again, I'll be in probably $9 profit, or I'm sorry, $9, not including the cost. So paid 2, made 9 on it, $7 profit on it, and it'll take no time to throw in a little box and ship out. So that's the FBM stuff. Now we'll move into eBay. And let's start with this. These here. These are ID bracelets, mostly used for doctors' offices, hospitals, and such. I bought a couple of pallets of these 3 years ago, and I've been selling these since then. They're not a constant seller. They're a long tail item, but they don't take up a whole lot of space, and they just sell. I mean, a little bit. I sell probably 4 or 5 a month, and sometimes I sell 4 to one person. I have one guy who comes back and buys from me on a regular basis. These I get $25 for a pack of 250 of them, and I charge $8 for shipping. They fit perfectly inside a USPS priority mail padded flat rate mailer. So I slide it in, print out my label, slap it on, and it's good to go. So not a great seller, but definitely makes money. Next, here we go, some batting gloves. Now, these are one of those items that I probably shouldn't have bought. I paid $3 for it, and I sold it for $9.99 plus shipping. I'll probably make a few bucks on the shipping that I charged, and then I'll pay the fees out of that. So I'll probably end up with $9, $10 in this, so $7 profit. I did have 6 of these, so I listed them all off the same listing, and I'll just sell them and ship them out that way. Again, $7 isn't really a whole lot of profit. Not something that I shoot for, but I bought a few of them, so it was worth it. And these I sold on eBay. All right. Next, I'm going to bring down a bunch of hardware. I've sold quite a bit of hardware in the past couple of days. Now, let me say this. People ask, how do you sell on eBay? Well, the main thing is you've got to list. I've been on an Amazon kick for a while, so I was doing a lot of Amazon for fourth quarter, and I let my eBay slide. I wasn't selling a whole lot on eBay. But in the past week or 2 weeks, I've listed 30 to 50 items, whether it be on auction or on Buy It Now. And that has really increased my sales, and not just sales on the items that I listed, but sales on items from my other things, other things that have been listed like this. This is, let me break it open. This is a reproduction set of doorknobs. I'm not going to take it out of the plastic because it's nice and sealed. But as you can see, it's got the rope edge. It's for the old mortise style doors. I've had that for a year and a half. I bought 20 of them for $3 each. This is my very last one, so I'm glad to see it go. But I'm going to make about $15 profit on this when it's all said and done. And I've done that 20 times. So, um, so yeah, that was this was an item that I bought at a hardware store that closed down. It was a vintage hardware and lighting store that closed down, and they had a lot of cool stuff. They had old stuff, they had some reproductions, but even most of their reproductions were vintage reproductions, so they weren't, real current. So I bought a lot of that stuff, and that's what everything on this table is from that purchase. So I've had everything here for, well, let's see, April of this year will be 2 years. April of 2018 is when I bought most of this stuff. This is a cylinder key lock. It's a Sargent. It goes for an old mortise style door lock for your house. I sold this for $19.99, and honestly, this was in a 48-foot tractor trailer load that I paid $500 for. The hardware store had 2 tractor trailers in the back of their lot, and it was mainly overstock. And they would pull stuff out of there when they didn't have room, or when they had too much room and they needed more inventory. So they had a closing sale for a couple of months, and I went in and I bought a lot of stuff at a huge discount through their closing sale. And then they had an auction. They had a liquidation auction to get rid of everything. And I bought the contents of both of their 48-foot tractor trailers. So this, I mean, I really have, I can't even say how much I have in it. I have next to nothing in it. And this is one of the items I listed last week. And I listed it, buy it now, because I've sold these and they sell for 15, 20, 30 bucks, depending on the maker and how many keys you have. So it was a good sale, $19.99. And it'll be really simple to ship. I'll just throw it in a padded envelope, and maybe 2 of them, and slap a label on it. Okay, so another item that I've had for 2 years, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna just say it's all great. This item I paid $9 for. This is it's a door latch. You would put it on an older house, or I guess even any house you want, but it's an older style, it's brass, and I paid $9 for it, thinking that it would sell great. And I've had it listed for at least a year, and I finally took an offer on it for $12. So after fees, now I never do free shipping. Some people on eBay do free shipping, and I'm sure it works out for them. I have my reasons, and maybe I'll go into that later in another eBay video. I mean, a YouTube video as to why I don't do free shipping. But let's just say for right now, I don't. So they paid for shipping, so I'll be okay on that. But yeah, to make maybe $1.50 off of a $9 item is not good. So I'm just glad to see it go, and I hope that whoever gets it will enjoy it. They got a heck of a deal on it. So. Now I have had these for quite a while as well. These are the same sale. These are mortise locks, miniature mortise locks for a cabinet. Different types of cabinets, a lot of curio cabinets and such. They come with a cool skeleton key. I sold 2 of the locks, new old stock, with the key for $25. I pay, and they're national, that matters. National Lock Company. So I bought 1,800 of these for $1 a piece. And they came with, I imagine, 1,800 keys, but I haven't sat down to count them all. And my thinking was, even if I couldn't sell the locks, I could make my money back on just the keys, worst case scenario. But I've sold quite a few of these over the past 2 years. I would say close to enough to pay off what I paid for all of them, and I still have 1,600 left. So these are long tail item again, slow sellers, but they don't take up much space. And if you mix them in with merchandise that sells pretty quickly, it works out pretty well. So $25, $1 a piece on them. So I've got $2 in it. After fees, I'm profiting $20 on this. So that's pretty good. All right, let's see. The last item of hardware from that purchase, and I'm not going to unbox everything. Hopefully, if I can get my editing skills a little bit better, I can do some screenshots of stuff. But that probably won't happen in this video. But don't know if you can tell what that is, but it's a door lock set. There's two knobs, two back plates, the lock mechanism. It is Sargent, which is a pretty good brand for back in those days. It was very common. I sold this. I had it for $34.99. Buy it now or best offer, and I took an offer of $31 plus shipping on it. Now this is another item that I purchased in that $500 tractor trailer load. There were boxes and boxes of new old stock stuff. Now a lot of the stuff didn't look like it was in the greatest shape, which is why I got it so cheap, because it was pretty junky. But you know, sometimes you just have to look past the junk and see the value in things. And I had a leg up on a lot of these people because I had been in that trailer for probably 2 weeks before that, digging through there and buying stuff out of the trailer, and getting a really good deal on the stuff that I was buying out of the trailer. So I knew what was there. So when it came around, I opened the bidding at $500 and no one else bid on it. So I probably could have got it for cheaper, but I'm more than happy with the price that I got it for. All right, so we'll move these out of the way. And I'm going to try not to keep this video, try not to make it too long. If you know me, I'm pretty long-winded, so we're already past the mark that I wanted to be at, but got lots of good stuff. And this has been my best weekend sales on eBay in probably 6 months. So it just goes to show that if you get out there and you list, it will definitely help you sell. So this is, I don't know if you can see the ridges and stuff, but this is a vintage, I believe it's a vintage reproduction. I don't think it's original, but I could be wrong, because they had a lot of original stuff there along with some reproductions. But it's an Art Deco style glass lampshade. It is a 2 1/4 inch fitter. I bought a bunch of these along with the hardware stuff that I bought from that same vintage hardware and lighting store. I've sold a ton of these style lampshades, different colors and all that. This I paid $2.75 for. I mean, I couldn't pass up the deal. I don't normally like to buy glass. I don't like to store glass. I don't like to transport glass. I just don't like glass. But even not liking glass, I couldn't pass up the deal on this. And I'm glad I didn't, because I sold this for $27.50. I'm sorry, $27.99. I do $27.99. I didn't do a best offer. It's buy it now, take it or leave it, and they pay for calculated shipping. So I put in the dimensions of the box, the weight, and all that good stuff. And then the buyer pays according to their zip code, and eBay gives them the price. So I plan to do another video on actually boxing this up to show you how I package glass to make sure that it gets to its destination securely. And always, always, always insure glass packages, unless they're only worth like $10, and you know, you just roll the dice or whatever. But good deal. Someone's going to be very happy with this. I've sold quite a few of them, and I've never had a single complaint on them. And I put in the listing that, you know, I'm not sure whether they're reproduction or original, but, you know, take a look at it and figure out for yourself. So next up. Okay, so these are probably my most recent purchases. This right here is an Oregon chainsaw set. These are for Craftsman Echo, McCullough, and Pullen. I was at Lowe's last week, and see, this is why it's important to build relationships with people. It's not always a bad thing to let people know that you're a reseller. You know, sometimes they want to jack up prices on you, but a lot of times they just want to get rid of stuff, and so I was at Lowe's a year ago, and I was buying some of their clearance, and I was loading up a cart. I had a cart slammed full of stuff, and the assistant manager walks up to me and says, "Hey," like, "great, take it all." I said, "Well, there's some other things that I'd like to, that I'd like to buy." I think he had some recessed lights, and I was actually going to buy some for my house. I have some installed right up here, and but I was also going to sell some. So I said, I'm kind of interested in the lights, but they're a little bit more than what I can pay to be able to make any money on them. And he was like, "Well, let me see." So he scans it and he does some calculations. And I want to say they wanted like $8 for a box of 4. And they weren't like they were kind of like the Lowe's generic brand, like Project Source or something. So it was a decent deal for if you were using them for yourself, but for me to sell them, I couldn't make much money at 8. So he says, well, he's like, if you take all of them, and there were 15 or 20 boxes of these, I'll do them for $2 a piece. I said, sold. I'll take them all. And so then we looked at a couple of other things, and he was giving me some really good prices off of what the already clearance prices were. So I was pretty much buying whatever he was, giving me prices on that I could actually sell. So long story short, I walked in to buy some boxes for Amazon because I like to buy my boxes at Lowe's for Amazon. I use their large and medium moving boxes, and so I went in to buy some boxes, and I see him, and we just start talking a little bit, and I'm like, "You got any clearance?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've got some outdoor power equipment over here." So all right, cool, let's go check it out. So I ended up buying three cordless chainsaw, or I'm sorry, hedge trimmers. Three cordless hedge trimmers, really cheap. And then he cut me a deal on these chains. There were like 6 or 7 of them, and they were different styles, different sizes, and all of that. So I wanted to sell these on Amazon because they were in the package. Anything that's new in the packages I can sell on Amazon, I like to sell on Amazon because I can generally get better money for it, and I can send it in and be done with it. I don't have to worry about storing it or anything. So that was the plan. And then they had a bunch of the bars. There were a bunch of bars, but they were all out of the package. Those I don't like to sell on Amazon. Um, so I didn't even really think about them on eBay. So I ended up taking the chains, and he had some Husqvarna chainsaw sharpening kits. He made me a good deal on those, so I bought those. So I took them up to the register along with everything else, and he scans one of these advanced cut, and he says these actually come with a bar, so they're 20 inch. He said if there's two 20-inch bars back there, because I had two of these chainsaws blades. He said just go ahead and grab the bars. I said okay, cool. So I go back there and I just grab all the bars because I'm thinking to myself, well, if those are included in those, maybe there's some other ones. And I said, if not, maybe he'll cut me a good deal on those. So long story short, I ended up paying $3 for this set. I bought 2 of these sets. I sold it on eBay for $24.99 plus $10 or $12 for shipping. And I've already sold one set and shipped one set out. And I actually made $2 on the shipping. I used a Priority Mail mailing tube, the triangular shaped ones. The only thing with that is you have to ship them priority mail, but through eBay, it's usually not much more expensive to ship priority mail than it is parcel post. So that was a good buy. That was $3 into $24.99. Now, along the same lines, and I have 2 of these up here because I sold both of them. I'm not going to bring them both out because they're both the exact same thing. This is a Husqvarna Farm Tough chainsaw blade. It's a 20-inch, and this did not come with a chain. It's just the bar, and I had to pay a little extra for it. I had to pay $4 for this one. Now, just to let you know, when I walked in, these were marked $24.99, marked down from $49, I believe. I'm pretty sure those are the numbers. So at $20, there was no way I was buying these, not even close. But when he told me 4, I'm like, yeah, that's Husqvarna. That's a new bar. I'll take that. So I sold both of these last night within probably 20 minutes of each other for $24.99 plus I believe $12 for shipping, and I'll be able to ship them for that, no problem, because they don't weigh much. They're just kind of long. So that was a good buy as well. Now this, I don't know much about this, and I'm not sure if it's even going to stand up properly. I'm going to try. So this is a process refractometer. I bought this at a warehouse sale a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, on a pallet with a bunch of automation and industrial stuff, a bunch of electronics and stuff like that. I bought 5 of these. I actually forgot that I had this one and 2 others because they were kind of stuck back in a corner. I sold 2 of these last year for $200 each, and I sold them as is. I'm sorry, I didn't sell them as is. I sold them no returns, but guaranteed to work. So I'm not going to take a return on it because you don't like it, But if it doesn't work, I'm guaranteeing it to work. So if it doesn't work, then I'll take the return on it. I didn't get any returns because both of them worked and they were good to go. Some of the stuff that I don't have the equipment to test or just the ability to test, I'll sell it like that. I'll sell it, untested but guaranteed to work, or you can send it back. And that's exactly how I sold this one. I just listed it on Thursday, and I sold it Thursday night within like 8 hours to a guy. I had it for $150, buy it now or best offer. Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't have the best offer. I had it $150, buy it now, and then I had a guy send me an offer, and we did some negotiation, and we ended up on $125 plus shipping for this. The shipping was close to $40 because I'm in Florida and the buyer is in Canada, but he had it shipped to a Maine address, so that was a little bit high. But it's still a heck of a lot cheaper than if he was to buy this new. This, and now there's another unit that goes with this. This is just the control board for it. The actual measuring tool, the refractometer measuring tool, does not come with this. But if you were to buy this together, I seen them on eBay together for $3,000. So I think he's going to be happy with this. And I've got 2 more. I will probably sell those soon as well. So that was a pretty good sale. And as far as what I paid for it, I paid very little for this. I bought 4 or 5 pallets from that warehouse sale over a period of a week or 2. And I've already made 12 grand on those pallets profit. So this is, I mean, there's of course it had an initial cost, but at this point, there's no cost to it for me. All right. Last item. This is not the actual item that I'm going to be shipping out, but this is an Ontario $4.99 survival tool, survival knife. I bought these at Walmart actually on clearance, and I bought some for 19 and some for either 9 or 11 because I bought some and then they dropped the price again, and I went back and bought more at a different location. So this was my best sale so far. Not because I sold it for $40, but because I sold 5 of them to one guy for $40 plus shipping. Now, I went to look for these this morning in my storage unit and realized that I had sent all of them into Amazon because they were selling for a better price on Amazon. However, Amazon was on the listing, and I figured when I bought these back in September that Amazon would run out before Christmas time, and then at Christmas time these would be somewhere in the $60-$70 range on Amazon. Well, unfortunately that didn't happen. I did end up selling some for $40 and $50, depending on where Amazon was at with their buy box. But I didn't sell all of them. I didn't sell as many as I thought I would. But they're still going to be good sellers. I'm still going to make money on them, and I like knives. I like knives. I like hunting equipment. So when you like stuff, it's easier to sell that stuff, and you're more willing to take less money as long as you're still making decent money. At least I am. I find that with a lot of my reseller friends are the same way. I have a guy who likes books. He loves reading, and he'll buy. I mean, he's got storage units full of books on bookcases that are listed on eBay and Amazon. I was actually helping him yesterday work on moving some stuff, and he has locations for everything. But anyway, I digress. So this was $220 with shipping for 5 of them. I'm going to have to create a multi-channel fulfillment order through Amazon because they have all of my inventory. I've only done this once, and I was a little intimidated by it at first, but it's a super simple process, super simple. And I'm actually going to try and make a video on that as soon as I figure out how to do all the screenshots, because that's a video that I'll need to do some editing on and do screenshots and stuff like that. So once I figure that out, you can expect to see that. So 5 of them coming from Amazon to the eBay buyer. That's what's going to be happening here soon. So thanks for sticking around. I know, wow, this is 30 minutes. I meant to keep it under 15 for my first video, but it is what it is. So thank you guys for watching. If you stuck around for the whole time, I appreciate it. Please subscribe, comment, like. Again, this is my first video, so if you have advice, tips, or any kind of constructive criticism, be greatly appreciated. Leave it in the comments, and I will read every single comment and respond to it if I need to, if it needs a response. Again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.